Imagine a moment when everything you've ever known begins to dissolve. The familiar patterns, the routines, the relationships, they all start to feel different. It's as if the world around you is shifting, but not in a way that's visible to the naked eye. It's deeper, more profound, like a current of energy moving beneath the surface of your life. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something is happening. Something big. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and you can't go back to who you used to be. This is the beginning of a spiritual awakening, your spiritual awakening. And with it comes a transformation that is both beautiful and terrifying. You start to see through the illusions, the false identities, the societal norms that once held you in place. You begin to feel a pull towards something greater, something more authentic, more aligned with your true self. But as you embark on this journey, you realize that in order to grow, you must let go. Today, we're diving into the 6 things that highly spiritual souls slowly quit as they awaken to their true nature. These aren't just habits or behaviors. They're deeply ingrained aspects of our lives that we often cling to out of fear, comfort, or conditioning. But as you'll see, releasing them is not only necessary, it's liberating. 1. Quitting the need for external validation. The first thing highly spiritual souls let go of is the need for external validation. In today's world, we're bombarded with opportunities to seek approval through likes, comments, followers, and social media recognition. It's easy to fall into the trap of defining your worth based on what others think of you. But as your spiritual journey deepens, you start to realize that true validation doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from within. You begin to understand that the opinions of others are merely reflections of their own inner world, not a measure of your value. Slowly, you start to quit the need to be liked, to be understood, to be accepted by everyone. Instead, you find peace in knowing that your worth isn't determined by what others think of you. It's defined by your own sense of self-worth, your deep connection to your true self. And when you grasp this, the endless cycle of seeking approval begins to fade away, leaving behind a sense of freedom. But letting go of external validation is only the beginning. 2. Letting go of material attachments. Next, spiritual souls gradually release their attachment to material possessions. Our society equates success with the accumulation of things: money, cars, houses, designer clothes. We're taught that the more we have, the more successful we are. But as you grow spiritually, you begin to see these things for what they truly are: temporary, fleeting, and ultimately unfulfilling. True abundance, you start to realize, isn't measured by what you have, but by who you are. It's about the richness of your inner world, the depth of your connections, the love and joy you cultivate from within. And so you begin to let go of the need to constantly acquire more. You simplify your life, declutter your space, and focus on what truly matters. This doesn't mean you renounce all material things. Instead, you detach from the belief that your worth is defined by them. You begin to find joy in the simple things, in experiences, in being, in moments that nourish your soul. But with material things no longer the focus, what comes next on this spiritual journey? 3. Releasing the need for control. One of the most significant shifts that occur during spiritual awakening is the gradual release of the need for control. We live in a world that values control over our lives, our circumstances, and even other people. We're conditioned to believe that we must control everything to ensure our happiness and success. But this need for control is rooted in fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of chaos. As you awaken spiritually, you begin to see that control is just an illusion. The more you try to control everything, the more you resist the natural flow of life. So you start to let go. You begin to trust in the process of life, in the divine timing of the universe, and in the unfolding of your journey. You realize that there is a greater plan at play, one that you may not always understand, but one that is always guiding you toward your highest good. This doesn't mean you become passive. Rather, you learn to surrender. You set your intentions, take inspired action, and then release your attachment to the outcome. You trust that whatever unfolds is exactly what you need for your growth, and you find peace in the uncertainty of life. But letting go of control opens up space for something deeper. 4. Abandoning toxic relationships. As your spiritual awareness deepens, you start to reevaluate the relationships in your life. You begin to notice the people who drain your energy, who hold you back, or who keep you stuck in old patterns. These may be relationships you've held onto out of obligation, fear, or comfort. But as you grow spiritually, you realize that these relationships no longer serve your highest good. So you start to release these toxic connections. You distance yourself from those who bring negativity into your life, those who undermine your growth, or those whose values and aspirations don't align with yours. It can be a painful process, as it often involves letting go of people you care about. But it's necessary, and once you make space for healthier relationships, you attract connections that uplift you. You surround yourself with like-minded souls, people who support you, challenge you, and help you become the best version of yourself. But as your relationships evolve, you also experience a profound shift within yourself. 5. Ceasing to compromise your authentic self. As your awakening continues, you start to quit compromising your authentic self just to fit in or please others. Throughout life, we're often pressured to conform, to play roles, wear masks, and be something we're not. But this comes at a great cost. It drains our authenticity, our joy, and our inner peace. Highly spiritual souls gradually release this habit. They start to embrace their true selves, with all their quirks, flaws, and unique qualities. They no longer feel the need to hide or diminish who they are just to make others feel comfortable. Instead, they stand in their truth, unapologetically, living in alignment with their highest values and beliefs. This shift brings a profound sense of freedom and fulfillment. When you stop compromising your authenticity, you start attracting people and opportunities that resonate with your true self. You begin to create a life that feels deeply aligned with who you are, and you realize that the only approval you need is your own. But the most profound shift is one that affects every part of your being. 6. Quitting the fear of death. Finally, one of the most profound shifts that occur during the spiritual journey is the gradual release of the fear of death. While this might seem like a heavy topic, it's one that highly spiritual souls come to terms with as they grow in their awareness. As you awaken, you begin to see death not as an end, but as a transition, a natural part of the cycle of life. You come to understand that your true essence is eternal, that the soul transcends the physical body. Death is simply a doorway to another dimension of existence. This realization brings a deep sense of peace and acceptance. You no longer live in fear of the unknown, but instead trust in the divine plan. You begin to live more fully in the present moment, appreciating the beauty and impermanence of life. And in doing so, you free yourself from the limitations of fear, allowing yourself to experience life in its fullest expression. Conclusion: as you continue on your spiritual journey, you'll find that these 6 things, external validation, material attachments, the need for control, toxic relationships, compromising your authentic self, and the fear of death, are all things that you gradually release. It's a process, one that takes time, patience, and self-compassion. But as you let go of these old patterns, you create space for something much greater: your true self, your true purpose, and a life that is deeply aligned with your soul. Remember, this journey is yours alone. There's no right or wrong way to navigate it. Trust in your own process, honor your own pace, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. If you found this video insightful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe for more content like this. Together, we can continue to awaken and support each other on this incredible journey of the soul.